Fellow Zimbabweans, these yours truly blessed Runezu Geza, Comrade Bombshell. The moment we've been yearning for is upon us. In just 2 days, we will flood the streets of Harare to reclaim our dignity from a corrupt and indifferent regime. Those in other cities like Bulawayo, Masvingo, Mutaro, and Gweru, among others, who cannot travel to Harare, protest from wherever you are. Your voice counts. Zimbabwe cannot afford an extra day with Emerson in office. Under Section 212 of the Constitution, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces is duty bound to protect the nation, its people, and its interests. Likewise, under Section 219, the duty of the Zimbabwe Republic Police is to protect life and property, uphold the law, as well as maintain peace and order. The same Constitution gives people the right to protest peacefully. To the military and the police, we plead with you not only to respect the democratic rights of citizens to protest peacefully, but also ensure their safety. We appeal and look up to you. So, on Friday, 17 October, fellow Zimbabweans, let us all rise as one. Our message is clear. We demand an end to corruption with impunity, state capture, abuse of office, the mutilation of our constitution. Emerson must be gone, and Gananda must be arrested. Here is our roadmap. Firstly, please note, we will now gather at the Africa Unity Square, not the Robert Mugabe Square as previously announced. Secondly, we will then march to addresses of identified Ganandas to enact citizens' arrest. I will share the addresses of our 10 critical targets. 1. Kudakwashi. Number 4, Nyagaretungo Close, Valentine Park, Borodale, Harare. 2. Wikinochivayo, 1352/3, Gletwin Road, Shawasha Hills, Harare. Former Police Commissioner Augustine Chiwuri's house. 3. Scott Sakupanya, 32 Bosco Bell Drive, Highlands, Harare. 4. Mutuli 3A3 Highlands, Glen Road, Umuzindel, Harare. 5. George Guamatanga, 39 Dakobe Road Drive, Chisipiti, Harare. 6. John Mangunya, 163 Gideon Road, Grayton Park, Harare. 7. Jacob Mafume, 110 Coronation Drive, Greendale. 8. Daniel Garwe, 9 Delishungwai. We will give you other addresses on due course. Thirdly, we will head to State House on Saturday to remove Emerson. We will leave State House and the streets only when Emerson is dismantled. As we have observed, this week we sent letters to Emerson appealing for the arrest of Zigadandas, Kudakwashe, Tagurei, Wikinochivayo, Scott Sakupanya, and others. Unfortunately, Emerson has been protecting them. So this Friday is the day to end Emerson's corrupt rule and secure our future. come out in your numbers to dismantle this corrupt regime. Corruption weighs heavily on ordinary people. We can no longer continue to be spectators anymore. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless Zimbabwe. Pachipamwe mhuri yeZimbabwe. Nguva yatakatamirira tose yasvika. Musi wa17 October, this Friday, kuswera mangwana, tinokubirisai mose marudzi ose emuZimbabwe kuti muuye muHarare tizoratidzira sekuwirirana kwatakaita tipedze matambudziko. Kwamuri imwimwi mawo veterans, tinotenda mawo veterans edu. Maona kuti mawo veterans edu mafoma Zipra ati ari kuuya ese. Ndo zvatakatarisira kuti kuma foma Zanga muuye mese povo yedu inenge yakatarisira kwamuri kuti muipe direction, because imwimwi ndimi makauya neindependence. Imwimwi mauya neindependence hamuna kumboienjoya macomrades. Vana venyu havana kumboienjoya. Vazukuru venyu havana kana kumboienjoya. The same applies kupovo yedu. Haina kana kumboenjoya independence. Saka iyi yatakuita musi weFriday tinoiti final push. Zimbabwe will never be the same again. Weaiti bise utongi hwaEmerson nezvigaranda zvake. Kwamuri masoja yedu nemapurisa, bumbiro remutemo kana kuti constitution yedu inotaura iyo kuti Zimbabwe Defense Forces basa rayo is to protect the nation, its people and its interest, not to protect munhu kana kuti protecta kaklike vanhu vashomanana. Saka basa rayo nderekuprotecta nyika nevanhu nemainterest ayo. KuZimbabwe Republic Police, right? Tinoapira kwamuri kuti muone kuti constitution yedu inotaura kuti kudii. Hakuna mupurisa asingazivi kuti chaakapindira basa akapindira kuti aite chii. Section 219, right, of our constitution inotaura kuti mapurisa should protect life, property, rule of law, maintain peace and order. Ndo basa remapurisa. Mapurisa nemasoja, muri masoja evanhu nekuti emunhu. Muri mapurisa evanhu. Saka tinokumirisai mapurisa nemasoja, batanai neruzhinji rwevanhu. Vana veZimbabwe vashupika, tichisanganisirawo nemwi mese vashupika. Kune vemachechi vedu, vemachechi ndimunotonyatsokuziva kunetseka kuri kuita mhuri yeZimbabwe. Tinokumbirisai vemachechi, right, kuti namatirai nyika yedu, nyamatirai nyika yedu. Demonstration iri kuitwa nevanhu, kana protest iri kuitwa nevanhu iitike munyararo, ibudirire, zvinangwa zvavari kuda zvibudirire. Mhuri yeZimbabwe, mafambiro atichaita, right, takanga takaurirana pakutanga kuti tichasangana pana Robert Mugabe Square. Tachinja, takuungana paAfrica Unity Square. PaAfrica Unity Square ndeapa pakati peMickles Hotel neOld Parliament Buildings, papaki iwerapeyo. Ndo pakuungana, taungana ipapo, tichamacha, tichienda kudzimba dzezvigananda yatinoti citizens arrest. Zvigananda zvacho masata tose tinomacha tichienda kuState House, kunokupa State House, kumeka sure kuti kunangarwa corrupt huru yake. Saka tinokumbirisai mhuri yeZimbabwe, kana paine kusaurirana kwamunoita apa, ngatibatanei, ngatisiyei madifferences edu pasaidi, tonangana nenyaya yekuti tisunungure nyika yedu. Mhuri yeZimbabwe, ndinokutendai, ngatisanganei musi wa17 October, musi weFriday. I thank you, mhuri yeZimbabwe.
Okay, here we go. I think people should be able to hear me now. Ndazokwanisa kuti ndiadjuste chimwe chinhu chiri important, device chiri important. Ndakunzwikwa here. Here we go. Okay, people should be hearing me now. Okay. Ndakunzwikwa here. Okay. I think ndakunzwikwa ku video. Okay. Can people hear me now? Okay. Okay. I think ndakunzwikwa ku video. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you very much. I think Jaita Manj. Okay. Thank you very much, folks. I've just got myself in. Ndazonyaza pinda mdariro chaimo kuti tinya so famba nenaurwa iyi. Vageza vachibva kukanda naurwa yavo nasi manero ano vachitaura ivo kuti ruzhinji takusangana pa Unity Square before tangaisangana pa Robert Mugabe Square, takuinda tichasangana pa Africa Unity Square musi Friday. Tichibva ipapo tobva tananga toinda kumba kudzimba dzezvigananda, and he announced a list of people that he said, look, we're going to go to their houses and effect citizens arrest. And those people include Wikno Chivayo, they include Mtuli Ngube, they include Mtuli Ngube, Wikno Chivayo, and effect citizens arrest. They also include George Guamatanga. They include several people here, and including Jacob Mafume, the Tendai Biti mayor of Harare. And then he says, look, Mnangagwa will be arrested Muswe Saturday. Saturday. Folks, mazvinzwa izvozvo. Zvine hungwaru here izvo kubva maanonza pajekerere. Ini nangu handisi kumauto zvangu, handisi kuzano, handisi kumauto, handisi kuchichicha. I'm just wondering, is this strategic? And what's your feeling about this, folks? Taroti mbokurukuraka. I mean, look, you know what? Because and of course, you know what? I'm a supporter of freedom of speech, so I host, and wherever Zimbabweans are in an initiative to express themselves or to seek restoration of the rule of law, I go mnondwana because ndo basa kwangu ini support Geza chemunhu murombo kana chemunhu ari kudzvanyirirwa kuti munhu ari kuda kuratidzira. Right, but at the same time, of course, I will then question you that your methods is dzakamira sei panotsikika here apa. Okay, unfortunately, Geza is not here, but I know he's definitely listening somewhere. As you know, members of Veku side vadi kupinda pajekerere kuti vakwanise kumbogrilwa. But imimi vachona ndimi wakawanda, some of you are the Gezas, ndimi munosupporta vachona imimi. Ndoda kumbokubvunzai kuti ko pakamira sei panotsikika here apa. Hanzi musatipedzera data. Right, okay. Somebody saying, please use much of English. Your neighbors are following these matters. Okay. Mundia Mwangala says, look, use English. Yes, I'm going to try and keep everything in English. Thank you very much. I will do that. From time to time, however, you're going to see me juxtaposing, sometimes going into Shona or Isindebele, and then I'll still come back into English, just like what Geza has been doing, because I was speaking the vernacular, but you also come back into English, right? Because we're a multilingual country, right? We've got so many people, the African languages, and there are some people who just want to hear it raw as it is in the African language. So what do you think about this? Will this work, folks? And are you ready? Are you joining? Are you getting in? Are you jumping in? Talk to us. Let's hear from a few people here. We've got T-Me. Good evening. Manerukamuri. T-Me, are you there? Let's talk.
Tono sangana ku Zimbabwe ngoko. Tono sangana ku Zimbabwe ikoko. Tono sangana ku Zimbabwe ikoko.
Right, T-Me, you're quiet. T-Me, once you're back, let me know. Okay, T-Me, come in, T-Me. Anziko signal. Pana argundi sega kuti Zimbabwe imbazi ya. And I'm saying because the guy voice around in and gonna be but not I'm gonna imba but then I know imba because I just heard some singing here. So just try to imitate, right? Tono sangana. Anzi inyaya zekudokesa zuwa. This is just these are just bedtime stories. That someone says here. These are just bedtime stories. Someone says we are ready. Imagine how many people were graduating every year since 1990. No work. Some people are saying, yeah, we're getting in there. We are actually getting in there. Okay. Okay. Are we there? Tapinda, T, come in. Stanley, Timmy, come in. I think I've got Stanley, come in. Stanlos, come in. We are going to meet.
We are going to meet in Zimbabwe.
Right. Chichiri kuitika ndarasika. Vageza vazo announce manje. Hanzi ingawani ko general wakakula down ingawani. Uneshota wakakula down ona. Hanzi ready ininda anayo AK7 yangu. Okay. So folks, are you ready? What do you think? Are you getting in? Are you jumping in? Stanless Mbavari, you in here? Stanless Mbavari, come in. Let's hear you. Stanless Mbavari, shoot. Okay, Stanless, once you're in, just start speaking, okay? Open your microphone and start speaking. Let's hear you. Are you ready? Are you going to be there in African Unity Square? Or you... Muruto uya chete mi. Amusi type ambise type zeba internet ere mimi zema keyboard mi. Akana sisi background atishayiki tinofatiripo. Kopa papa match pepe maamuri kwere kana kuti ndimi futi maamuri pana pa muchingoita noise pa internet and then later on we don't see you on the ground. Kana pa match pese papa chaito hapo. Zvinoramba zvasini domboza. So this time I want to go in kana zvaramba tingatarise constitution ichichinjwa kuti munhu asvike 2030 nyika ichita zvairi kuita hapana zvazvinoshanda. Right. Okay. I see. You know what? It's going to be really interesting. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think people are going to be there, and do you think stuff's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Talk to me. Because like you know from the past, people have actual trust in the system. But then vanokaramba vachiona zvinenge zvichiitika paground, vanhu vazhinji vanogara muHarare kana kuti vanhu vese vanogara muZimbabwe. Change iyi vari kuida, but now iripo ndekuti tiri kushandisa the past history the past experience kuti pati pese patinoda kuzama kuratidzira chii chinoitika. Saka we are going to see from the beginning zvichatanga neslow pace, but as time goes on pakashaya interference from our security sector, but we know ZANU-PF is very tricky. Tichaona mapurisa anenge ana uniform manyowani asiri mapurisa musi wacho, and this is likely to happen. Vanenge ende mawira avanoita vanouya kuzoprovoka kuti demonstration iri democratic iri peaceful iite kunge demonstration ine violence, vawane maatakiro evanhu. This is going to happen. They are busy blessing kutorine mali especially atorwa kuma remote areas vanongopinzwa maHarare nyaya yesapatina chicken ini yanetsa muZimbabwe, wotyiswa wakudze chicken ini woudzwa zvekuita. Right. Saka tisingazozivi kusati kwaMr Geza sokutaura kwavaita mashoko ava. Geza anosapotika panyaya yekuti isusu we are not supporting battles within ZANU-PF because we are not part and parcel of ZANU-PF. But chatirikungosapota pana Geza is the idea yezvinhu zvatiri kuona zviri kuitika every day paground,
kuti nyika ishwa iri kutobuda ropa. Vanhu vanoda tasamuone kuti mai manje zvizvi kwamutoko kutono muti maChina kangouraya munhu seu. And the government is doing nothing about it. And the maChina acho anenge achitorutawo zvinhu zvatinenge tichitoonawo paground. Ndo zvangopa kuti vanhu tsigire pfungwa dzavagezawo, but isusu hatisi kurwa hondo dzavo dzepower kuti ndiani achazopinda after that aro what. Isu chatikuda kurwira panyaya yeconstitution yedu. Kuti kuconference kwavo kwamutare kuvachichira huku dzavo dzisapatinate. Ngavasabatewo chinonzi constitution yedu. Ngavataure zvezanupf yavo. Constitution yenyika ngavaisiye paside.
Right. Thank you very much. Tell me something. Do you think that thank you, by the way, I've got my co-host has just come in, Comfort Dondo, our human rights director is just chopped in. It would be great to hear her contributions also. And I'm going to ask you, whoever is contributing, as including you, Stanley, also go into English, because a lot of people who are in the international community who are not Zimbabwean are listening to our programs. And so tell me, are you saying that this is a demonstration also against the plunder of the resources by the Chinese? Because there is also a lot of corruption. Do you agree with what Themba Mliswa is also saying? There is a lot of corruption from foreigners like the Chinese, who appear also to be tolerated and to be working with the Vice President, Constantino Chiwenga. Question to you there, which a lot of people are asking, because the same way that you're saying, look, the Jiganandas need to go, right? There's also another group of Jiganandas who are doing what they want. They're even killing people in public. And this group are these Chinese, some of these Chinese, whatever foreigners, foreign criminals who just came into Zimbabwe, no police clearance, nothing, no background check. And right now they're running companies and they're taking our national resources and exporting them, using our people, not paying our people salaries. Even Manisa itself is getting shut. Were you aware that Manisa itself, the Manisa steel plant, is being shut down right now because of plunder of the national resources? So I'm asking you there, don't you think that you may need also to consider that cluster of real oppression of the people, which is beyond Mnangagwa?
Yeah, that's very correct. You know, it's like I can say once ZANU-PF is ZANU-PF. Among the ZANU-PF leaders, you can't say this one is better or this one is worse than the other. The actual fact is, the Chinese, they are good people, but they become bad people when they meet a government with bad practices. If you look right now, Chinese, they are also in Zambia. I think maybe you have come across another clip. I think it should be the Minister of Mines in Zambia, who was going through these mines, questioning about the issues of underpaying workers, no actual contracts on the ground, no PPEs for workers. This is what we were expecting in Zimbabwe. They are actually calling these people investors, but they are also using these investors to mask their also looting strategies. Because you know what, when you visit a person for a business contract, and then you happen to meet someone someone who is corrupt, you always follow the suit. It doesn't mean that Chinese, that's how they behave in their country. Because I think you know the laws in China, if you are found guilty of corruption, you can even be sentenced to death. So that's not the Chinese culture, but it's the Zimbabwean culture.
Right. Thank you very much. Great to hear your voice. Let's move to Comrade Masimba. Comrade Masimba, Teddy Moore. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, how are you?
Fine, thank you very much. Yeah, talk to us. Are you going to be there at African Unity Square on Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, I will be there 100%.
Talk to us.
And also, I encourage fellow comrades to join me there, because this is not for me only. This is not for ZANU-PF, but this is for us all as Zimbabweans. Looking at it, Comrade Chiwenga does not need many people. That does not need even the army to do anything. if the army fold its hands in the street and they do not shoot people, and if people are allowed to protest, you know, these people are old. They can't do anything. Ziambi, all this stuff. They cannot do anything. So if we as young people, we as youth go into the street now and start to protest without anything from the military, the police are not an issue. If the military is given a command by whoever to stop shooting people, like what happened in Madagascar, then it's a done deal. So we are just taking our chances. We will be there in the street on Friday and on Saturday again. Thank you.
Wow. Be there fighting to remove Mnangagwa. Do you think that things are going to happen like this, or this is just a guide? Because I think that is quite interesting. A lot of people would want to know there. Do you think that this is exactly how things are going to go, but this is just a general guideline?
It's better to try. You know, we can't fold our hands. We can't fold our hands. Really better with you know that story of those 4 Israelite lepers. At the end of the city. And they said to Israel, no. So it's the same with us. Without doing anything. As youth, I tell you, this country will die. And if we don't do something now, 2030 is real. And they will do it, it will be either 2020, 2035, 2040. So this is the time for us to act. And we have someone now. The good thing is we have General Chiwenga. That man now, although my mistakes are getting mashure, but I believe now, as much as we need him, he also needs us. So this is the time. I tell you, if we can get 3,000 to 10,000 people on Friday, it's done.
Wow.
It's done. Those numbers are a lot. Because once people are there, it's done. It's done.
You know, quickly, thank you very much. I want to try and replay the Geza broadcast in English, and then we try and get some text done, because I've just noticed a lot of people want to understand what the scope of this is, and then maybe we can continue with the discussion. Could we do that? Because I don't think it will take us 6 minutes to just get it in. Thank you. So here we go. This is the Geza broadcast coming up shortly. And at the side, I'm going to be speaking because I'm going to be doing a transcript of it. Thank you. Here we go. Here we go. I'm hoping that it plays. Here we go.
A blessed evening, fellow Zimbabweans. This is yours, truly blessed Runezu Geza, Comrade Bombshell. The moment we've been yearning for is upon us. In just 2 days, we will flood the streets of Harare to reclaim our dignity from a corrupt and indifferent regime. Those in other cities like Bulawayo, Masvingo, Mutaro, and Gweru, among others, who cannot travel to Harare, protest from wherever you are. Your voice counts. Zimbabwe cannot afford an extra day with Emerson in office. Under Section 212 of the Constitution, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces is duty bound to protect the nation, its people, and its interests. Likewise, under Section 219, the duty of the Zimbabwe Republic Police is to protect life and property, uphold the law, as well as maintain peace and order. Good evening, fellow Zimbabweans. These yours, truly blessed Runesu Geza, Comrade Bomb. The moment we've been hearing these yours, truly blessed Runesu Geza, Comrade Bombshell. The moment we've been yearning for is upon us. In just 2 days, we'll flood the streets of Harare to reclaim our dignity from a corrupt and indifferent regime. Those in other cities like Bulawayo, Masvingo, Mutaro, and Gweru, among others, who cannot travel to Harare, protest from wherever you are. Your voice counts. Zimbabwe cannot afford an extra day with Emerson in office. Under Section 212 of the Constitution, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces is duty bound to protect the nation, its people, and its interests. Likewise, under Section 219, the duty of the Zimbabwe Republic Police is to protect life and property, uphold the law, as well as maintain peace and order. The same Constitution gives people the right to protest peacefully. To the military and police, we plead with you not only to respect the democratic rights of citizens to protest peacefully, but also ensure their safety. We appeal and look up to you. So, on Friday, 17 October, fellow Zimbabweans, let us all rise as one. Our message is clear. We demand an end to corruption with impunity, state capture, abuse of office, the mutilation of our constitution. Emerson must be gone, and Gananda must be arrested. Here is our roadmap. Firstly, please note, we will now gather at the Africa Unity Square, not the Robert Mugabe Square as previously announced. Secondly, we will then march to addresses of identified Ugandans to enact citizens' arrest. I will share the addresses of our 10 critical targets. 1, Kudakwashitagurei. Number 4, Nyagaretungo Close, Valentine Park, Borodale, Harare. 2, Wikinochivayo, 1352/3, Gletwin Road, Chishawasha Hills, Harare. Former Police Commissioner Augustine Chiwuri's house. 3, Scott Sakupanya, 32 Boscobel Drive, Highlands, Harare. 4, Mutuli 383 Highlands, Glen Road, Umuzindel, Harare. 5, George Guamatanga, 39 Dakobe Road Drive, Chisipiti, Harare. 6, John Mangunya, 163 Gideon Road, Grayton Park, Harare. 7, Jacob Mafume, 110 Coronation Drive, Greendale. 8, Daniel Garwe, 9, Delishungwai. We will give you other addresses on due course. Thirdly, we will head to State House on Saturday to remove Emerson. We will leave State House and the streets only when Emerson is dismantled. As we have observed, this week we sent letters to Emerson appealing for the arrest of Ziganandas, Kudakwashe, Tagurei, Wikinol Bible, Scott Champanya, and others. Unfortunately, Emerson has been protecting them. So this Friday is the day to end Emerson's corrupt rule and secure our future. Come out in your numbers to dismantle this corrupt regime. Corruption weighs heavily on ordinary people. We can no longer continue to be spectators anymore. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless Zimbabwe.
Right, we've heard Geza speaking. This is his address. This is Geza's address in English, folks. If you hear the sound of my voice over there, let us know where you're logging in from. Quickly, let me just get myself up. I don't know why I can't be seen. Can people hear me? Okay, so yeah, Stadless, Comrade Masimba, this is it. Comrade Geza, that is his message there in English. Those who are listening in English, I'm hoping that you can hear. I'm going to try and put a microphone once again. At least with a microphone, people can hear a little bit better. A bit, as it were. Okay, so right, what do you think, folks? Murukutichi panopindika right. Hanzi nemwa kudakwa. Hanzi akadakwa uyu Geza uyu akadakwa. He's drunk. What do you think? Is Geza drunk? Do you think these are the words of a drunken person? These are declarations of something that is practically. Talk to us, folks. Talk to us.
You know what I understand? Zimbabweans, most of us, we don't know Jesus Lord. For many years, when Chamisa, Baganyarara, without doing anything, we have been calling for someone, an leader. That's what we have been asking for. For almost since 2018. My elections are being 2023, my elections are being we need someone who does to the middle. Now we have that someone. My youth are going to Sumuka. We are the youth. Right now, to Kufana Sumuka. And I don't know but this is the time. To leverage general. Right now, we have someone with power who is on our side. And this is the time. Could you think that my streets? Think that it says they claim. Could know is to my youth so this is our time now. Could you teach you end up? During this protest, but during the war, so this is a war interpreting. But you see war, you could think that war, but it's also we are going to fight our own war. And but if we don't do it now, I tell you what Zimbabweans will suffer. And we will suffer. So the other point, you're not going to put across I don't see General Wachimbotia Shagada. I don't think Udwangango Peter Mosque just like that. I don't know Simba if you see it the same. So this is the time for us to capitalize. This is the time where the opposition was supposed to capitalize. No. As much as this why don't you take our part now? No, it's also if we are going to participate up. It's also if we are going to do this, what is in for us. Netopinda. Tuona maopposition akanyarira skala vese vakanyarira. This is the time. This is the moment. Besides, this is the functional whole year ZANU-PF. But constitution indeed is government. So this is the right time for us to think that it's not defend the constitution. But defend the constitution together. So I know what functional whole what is it to work the president. But zvine chekuita futi nemunhu wese wemuzimbabwe. So vanhu vese ava vakanyarira vese ava vatori wrong, because this is their time yekuti vanga vachitaura kuti no, because on their own they cannot do anything. They have tried, they cannot do anything. So they have a man aripo right now outside kwavo anditi iwo hatingarambe nedevil watinoziva. This is a devil that we are seeing, this government that cannot quit. We don't know what Chiwenga achaita sei. Even Agapinda, we don't know what achaita sei. But tingarambe nechitachashata because we don't know kuti munhu achaita sei. Maybe it will be better. Maybe it will be worse. Can I do that? The same way. So why not participate? So this is the time. I'm so here with comment and say no, but this is for everyone. This is for everyone. It's not about ZANU-PF. It's not about MDC. It's not about anything. But the constitution is our constitution. This is the time. That's what I think.
Wow. Folks, I'm just going to try and summarize the statement. By the way, the statement that Geza has made there, for ethical reasons, I don't think, I'm not going to share the addresses because I feel it's what Geza needs to be aware of is there's a lot here. I need to consult lawyers and those sorts because from a legal standpoint, I would personally discourage Geza from throwing my addresses around. Apo Geza kanya apa. Pe my address apo, what's the point? Dangangoita zvinhu kakungoto kanda my address evanhu pa social media ka. Because Geza apo pakanywa apo. Izvo kuti maadresi kuzodai izvezvo aiwa ka izvo zvasi pamurawo izvo dai mangoita masports rova masports mushedza vanhu voita madhemo izvo kuti anzi vanhu tichabva taenda kumba makutoisa makunyanika maadresi painternet aiwa inini handisizopublisha maadresi evanhu. Pane zvimwe zvinhu zvokuti there comes a time when there's some expressions that are just beyond, it's not freedom of expression anymore. Right. And I have to say, people can make allegations, but if you're going to be publishing someone's address, come on, these addresses are already known anyway. People know all these addresses, but publishing them like this, and this is where I have a problem with Geza. And I as much as this needs to be done, but we're not going to publish the addresses. And I think the right to demonstrate is there. That should be there. An arrest effecting a citizen's arrest, that is very legal, I think. There, but I think it would be great to hear from some lawyers what they think. Ko mafume apinda mo apo mafume ndamona sarade. Oh dear. Right. So but Jens, some people are saying some people are saying up. What do you think about that? Stanlas and Comrade Masimba. It would be great to hear from Kurundai Lima. Kurundai Lima makango nyarara. Murukuchika ere na Comrade Kurundai. Masimba enda.
Yeah, there is nothing impossible. Because looking into this matter, what is unique in Zimbabwe? There are just only two things. We are not worried about their fight for who is going to be the first secretary of ZANU-PF or what. There are two issues which are of national interest. The issue of plundering of our resources, because corruption, they are taking it from our natural resources in the country. But these natural resources, they are not meant to benefit an individual. They are meant to benefit everyone. Every citizen has the right to these natural resources. Then, secondly, there is the issue of our constitution of 2013. They wanted to amend the constitution to be precise on the presidential term limit. So we have two things here which should unite Zimbabweans. Those issues of functionalism and whatever, we are not worried about them because we are not ZANU-PF members, and there's no way we can even join them, no matter how they can try to lure us to join them. So we have two burning issues. So I think as Zimbabweans, we should unite and fight for our rights. Otherwise, Zimbabwe is going nowhere.
Right. And do you think that this is a Friday thing or it's already started? I'm teasing you there. Do you think that these guys are going to sports you actually wake up tomorrow morning and you find stuff has changed?
Yeah, I want to be very honest. From the look of the things, I don't think what we witnessed in 2017 is going to be repeated in the same way. This one is going to be in a different way. All these people, they actually know. They know each other. They know the security system. They know everything. But I think this time the approach is going to be different, a little bit different from what happened during Mugabe. So I might, from my own observation, I think they are trying to put people first. Because we know what happened during Mugabe. It's too early for people to distort history. It's not the people who entered the streets, who flooded the streets first. It was the military. After the military took over, then the people were used to sanitize a genuine coup. By this time, they are doing it the opposite way. This 17 issue is to try to bring people first on the streets. And then I don't know, because I'm not security personnel, I don't know what they are planning on the ground. I don't know who has the military support or who. But to be honest, Zimbabwe is a military state.
So don't you think one for now that they must sports out first? They must fix their sports first, and then invite the spectators to watch the sports.
Yeah, but
isn't it? Did you get that description? Did you get that description that I mentioned there? I'm using Zimbabwean English there. They must set up their sports and then invite the spectators afterwards. The spectators of the sports, and then spectators will come just to clap hands, not to do anything, not to play the sports, right? Because the sportsmen are already known, okay, and the sportsmen are there, right? I know Kurundai here knows who the sportsmen are, right? Okay. And so, yeah.
If you remember very well, I think it should be 2 days or a day ago. There is one of the prominent opposition leader who sent it on X to say 2017 taught us a lesson. And yes, I was going through the X. So many people attacked that person, but in actual fact, Zimbabwe, if we continue putting our independence through military ways, we are still creating more problems for our nation. What he was trying to say was, I still remember he said, we can't, we should, the 2023 election should be fixed first. And then a lot of people said a lot of things. But in short, he was just trying to say corruption does not start from material things. It starts from the system. If you remember very well in 2017, when Mugabe was about to be out, to be thrown out of power, I remember Morgan Tsvangirai was still alive. Morgan Tsvangirai was either live on BBC. He was against the idea of this. Then a lot of people said a lot of things about Morgan Tsvangirai. In Shona, some of the people were saying, no, Geza young people, I'm sorry they like. I'm very sorry to say this. But in actual fact, Morgan Tsvangirai, he had the understanding of the main problem which is affecting his power. So until we address this issue, we are going to these side shows on and off.
Wow, folks, you know what? This is quite deep. I'll be interested to hear a few more people. I know Chief Shop says also come in here. I wanted also to hear from Kurundai. Kurundai is quiet. I think Kurundai is trying to test the waters here. If they're safe, they're safe to swim. I wish I was in ZANU PF. I think if I was, then I would understand how not so safe it is to speak. That you can't just wake up in the morning and just speak openly. You need first to test the waters to see if it is safe to speak in a certain fashion. And I would want to think. I think right now that is what is going on in ZANU PF. People are still wondering what is going on here. Will Shumba, who claims is Garwe, Mnangagwa, make it to remove Chiwenga, or will Chiwenga also make it? Yeah, will it be Chiwenga who makes it? How will this pan out? But there's an interesting paradigm, that I mentioned last time, and I said these two characters, I want to say their affinity to violence is so it is so deep. They've got a long history, over 60 years of violence and treachery. I think this is going to be an important, maybe perhaps analysis that could be given to Emerson and Constantino, is that both of them have a long history of both violence, treachery, and trickery as well. They participated in the first treachery, which was in 1975-76, the removal of the grouping, or that was led by the original ZANU people, the leaders of ZANU, who were Herbert Chitepo, Ndabaningi Stole in 75, and also the rebellion in 1976 over the Geneva Conference. And from that time, Chiwenga was part of a grouping of guerrillas that started to side towards this Rhodesia Special Branch clique of implants, who included Emerson Mnangagwa and Robert Mugabe, who were being pushed, and unbeknown to the guerrillas, they were being slid into leadership, up into leadership structures by the Rhodesia Special Branch to take over it. And it is from there that Constantino became part of a grouping that was generally friendly to someone who was always suspected of being a special branch deployee, and that is Emerson, such that by 1980, he was capable and was able to run a whole coup. According to Grace Mugabe, what she says, he had power even to tell the president to go to Mozambique. The whites want to kill you. Go to Mozambique. soon after independence, soon after elections in March, he told the president, go to Mozambique. The whites want to kill you. And the president even listened to him and traveled to Mozambique, not knowing that he was being sent to be killed there, and was only saved by Samora Machel and Julius Nyerere in Mozambique. Now, that is the type of power that Emerson amassed from that grouping, and he was enjoying the backing of the likes of Constantino. And from then on, Emerson started leading the entire security infrastructure. Folks, if you listen to Themba Mliswa, when he's criticizing Constantino, what he says is that Emerson was that powerful in that he was the leader of the entire security, the Joint Operations Command in 1980, together with a cluster of state security agents, the likes of Ken Flower, Dan Stannard, who had come from the Rhodesia Special Branch. And so Mnangagwa has been inside the security infrastructure for a very long time. 45 years is not 45 days. These are years of sinking your feet inside the security structures. And inside this, Constantino had participated in helping Mnangagwa to carry out many acts of both sabotage, treachery, trickery, also, and destruction of the whole country during Gukrahundi, the massacres in the 1980s. Constantino was based in Matabeleland himself. He was at Brady Barracks in Matabeleland during that time, stationed there, killing people, helping Emerson do all that, destroy tens of thousands of black people aimlessly, recklessly, and so treacherously for no reason, just to destroy people. And then both these two characters are also known for boasting that they are powerful in destroying people. One thing Emerson Mnangagwa will always say, I was trained to kill and destroy. At the same time, Constantino Chiwenga also boasts that he crushes anyone out there until you are like lice. And he says, look, I will take a stone. This is what he said about Nelson Chamisa. Not right now, people want Chamisa to get into the street. Right? But maybe perhaps what others don't see is that just a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, it was this same Constantino who was saying, you shut up. I will crush you I'll just put you on a piece of stone and I'll crush you like lice, just like that. The same Constantino is the one who also announced, Regeraya Komana, Monoremara, I will make you all disabled, and would use the term disabled. Monoremara, the same term of the description that has become of his own wife, Mary, the mother of his kids, of his 3 kids. And then also, this is the same Chiwenga who used the same metaphor that became of the last retired general, Solomon Mujuri. He was reduced to powder, to lice, to literally like lice, crushed like a stone. Totally, his body totally disappeared. At the time when he was the commander of the defense forces. And he's the same Chiwenga who phoned Nelson Chamisa on 1 August 2018 to tell him, to back off and to falsely accuse Nelson Chamisa for causing violence on the streets, which was himself who had sent soldiers on behalf of Emerson to kill 6 innocent people, killed recklessly and aimlessly on the accusation that they were Nelson Chamisa supporters, when they were in actual fact ZANU-PF. They were actually Emerson. There were ZANU-PF members who were killed there. And so most of them except one. And and then people were killed, women were raped, and and there was a lot of treachery that even involved a certain daddy character, a filthy man called Hopo Chingono, who participated with Constantino, feeding Constantino with ideas of destroying the civil society. Back then, you can see this on his Twitter post and the like. Horrific things that Emerson and Constantino have done in the last 45, 46 years, but even beyond, nearly 60 years of treachery and trickery. And so these two people, they are destroyers, and you can't deny that. In as much as Constantino is a victim now, but one thing about him, he's also a destroyer. But who is the biggest destroyer between the two is the question, okay? Who is the biggest destroyer? Who is capable of putting down the other? And that is the circumstance that people have found themselves in right now, where they are saying anyone who can remove Mnangagwa, we don't care who can, who will, we just want Mnangagwa gone. Even if the next person is going to be horrible, even if the next person is going to be worse, people just want Mnangagwa gone. So these are the circumstances. I just had to give a bit of a background there about Emerson and Constantino, who they are. And that's why you see on the Zima News Network, there's a cartoon that has got Constantino leading a group called Gorillas, Gigandangas, right? And then you got Emerson sitting on the shoulders of Gigananda, someone who is a fat-bellied, a fat, rich, a convicted thief, convicted fraudster. And so these are the intrigues that Zimbabweans are faced with right now. Who do you back, as Gigandanga or Gigananda? You're caught between a rock and a very hard place. And in between, you can even be crushed like lice yourself. Not a very nice thing, not a very pleasant thing to be a Zimbabwean, is it? At present. But I guess maybe these are the circumstances that Nelson Chamisa has found himself in. That is why he posted what it is there. But why, whatever the case here, what Zimbabweans have expressed that they want right now is just to remove Mnangagwa. And I think that is what it is. Folks have just given a bit of a background there. I also forgot to talk about the Chinese, another group of plunderers who are destroying not just Zimbabwe, a lot of, excuse me, I'm not talking about Chinese as in like the Chinese people. No, Chinese people are wonderful people. They're great people. They're building not just the economy, but multiple other economies around the world. But there's a group of Chinese criminals who are being deployed and sent to Zimbabwe. They don't get police clearance, just getting there. They're being given contracts, and they're destroying infrastructure. They're destroying the land underneath, and just looting, extracting, and just taking everything, practically everything, and doing things that are totally and completely intolerable in any country, including in China itself. And so these are the people that I'm saying that Constantino seems to be tolerating this group. And so, yeah, this is another complexity. So Zimbabweans are caught between a rock and a hard place, and they could be crushed like lice, like Chiwenga once said, or they could be made disabled, like he said, Munoremara, okay, like what he's done to his wife. What do people want to do? One way or the other, people are just saying, we just want to break, we just want to remove Mnangagwa for now, let's have a break. We don't care what comes, even if Chiwenga is like that. We just want Mnangagwa, we want to go back home, we don't care, right? So that's what it is, folks. Maybe Chiwenga might actually be a changed person. Maybe he could actually be the Catholic priest, the Constantinople. Okay, people remember the Pope. I think it was one of the first popes around AD 313. Could be that type of a person who is a reformer, who is no longer a destroyer. Could easily be way better than Mnangagwa, and particularly the fact that he comes from a grouping of original guerrillas who just had a heart to fix the country. He could be a Kawunda type of a character who just wants to fix the country and then hand over to the next generation. Could easily be. But folks, what do you want? I'm just giving a summary there. What do people think? This is your news network, Zimai. Let's hear other people here. Thank you. I'm hoping that my analysis there was concise. Co-host and Stanlas Parise. That's how they said it.
Yeah. Inini ndachifree chanofunga nezvekuti dei Zimbabwe ndemwari angopindira chawana mumwe Ibrahim Traore from the army. I think that is the best. And then this ZANU-PF thing should come to an end. Because honestly, these army generals, they're not foot soldiers. The people who give them, who are giving them power are foot soldiers. And the worst part of it, they ill-treat them. You see, they are the lowest age, they are among the civil servants who are getting peanuts out of it. See, they are the same people who give them that power. They think they might be here. Because if you look, those generals, they are very old, they cannot fight anyone. They cannot even fight a 16-year-old boy. But the foot soldiers are the people with the real power. So we just hope from those foot soldiers we happen to have the Ibrahim Traore of Zimbabwe.
Who is this Traore guy? Why are you folks from Southern Africa keep talking about Traore? What is he? What has he done for Burkina Faso?
You see, what Traore was not a high-ranked military personnel.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, from the look of the things, Burkina Faso is doing well with that Ibrahim Traore.
Are you sure that he's doing well?
Yeah.
You guys, don't you think you need to do a bit of reading? From what I understand, right, from what I get from the facts, Traore is just a fictitious person. He's just like Emerson. He's just a Chigananda for a country that I don't want to mention here. And I think you know what that country is. He's just looting. He's just another gold mafia, just allowing these foreigners to take minerals. You guys who are from Southern Africa, you're from Zimbabwe. You've got Zambia, you've got Hichilema next door. You've got Boko, who is Alpa next door. Uyo. Come on. Why are you busy like infatuated with some character who you've only seen on artificial intelligence videos talking in English, and you know that fella that is speaking English, and yet you know what? If you do a small census of just 10 people from Burkina Faso, they'll tell you that Burkina Faso is not such a nice country at present under Traore, by the way. But anyway, nevertheless, I just thought to tease you there because you know what, right? Just next door, northern Zimbabwe, okay, northern Rhodesia, Zambia. There is now free education there. A rule of law is, I mean, look at it. Even up next door, Papa, kwira boat across the Caribbean. You've got Boko in Botswana. Come on, guys. And then you are busy talking about kanofamba kakabata kapfuti. Ukaona munhu achamba akabata pfuti. Munhu ari kuchikakura iwakawo. Gaddafi ranga riri dhara raya. Wakambona Gaddafi aifamba nepfuti. Gaddafi aifamba nevasikini vakadzi, but munhu angari a reformer, he was also a soldier, but munhu akagadzira nyika. Ichi mfana chenyu chinogara chiri pasocial media ichi, chiri artificial intelligence video ichi, chicha chaita. If you do a small census of Burkina Faso people, they'll tell you they're living in fear right now. They're being hunted down, vachingoakuza nezvigandanga zveku Burkina Faso. Sorry for talking too much, but I just had to tease you there because inini zvangu inini munhu anonzi Traore ndotongonetseka kuti kuma-Africans munoroyiwa seiko nhaya mari chii chaizvo chine chimufana chacho aiwa panonetsa iwapo.
In short, what I'm trying to say is, chandinofungura kuti nenomwari atikomborera is to have people with the high ranks in the army vanoita reform from vasingaita interference with our politics.
Right.
The duty of the army is to protect the people. But if you look in Zimbabwe, most of these generals, they are allied to a certain party. You know, you were talking about Zambia and Botswana. Those military personnel in those countries,
no.
Political party.
No.
They appear on national events. Those are Zimbabwe chaitawo vanhu vari kuarmy police, mune vanhu vakadzidza mwemwe, vamwe varimo, mune madoctors, mune vaengineer, mune everything. Those people should bring change within the military. You say, Rakasper, ari kukadoma yeZANU-PF, it doesn't concern the military. We are not supposed to see military trucks there because it's a political party. But when there is an independence celebration in Kadoma for Zimbabwe, that's when we should see those trucks there because it's a national event, not a political event. Like now, they have their conference in Butari. My brother, honestly, I want to tell you the truth. You will find there are a lot of police people, they are being
it is. Ndo yatinoti corruption iyoyo. Vanhu voti hey anga nemari yake, iye anoti hey ndakatengesa imba yangu. It's not possible. It's not possible. Akapiwa sweet deal. What we don't know is, did he pay it back? Another example of a sweet deal is when the fat guy Chivayo akapiwa a tender Rewange power station. He was prepaid. He didn't deliver anything kuwange, but did he pay back? Ndoma sweet deals iwayo. When we say corruption, hatisi kutuka zanu, tutaura zvinhu zviripo zvatinokuratidzai. Another one of his Sandawana mines, that was a parastatal. It was pushed into, what you call it, Mutapa funds. The company Akunzi Mutapa Fund, it also used to be a parastatal, a government-owned company. Kwakaiswa ma-companies ese, ma-public companies, dzitori mari dzedu dzemaZimbabweans, ma-taxpayers, dzikapushwa more than 60, dzikapushwa into Mutapa Fund. Guess what? Mnangagwa came up with a statutory fund, a statutory instrument, my apologies. That statutory instrument removed oversight, which means even parliament cannot see what is happening in Mutapa Fund. They have no clue what transactions are happening there. Who has access? It's Mnangagwa and his cabal, especially Tagirei. Why? These are private, these are public companies, edu isusu as Zimbabweans, but nobody knows what transactions are happening there. So one of them, I think Biti akambotaura about it and someone else, Sandawana Mines, I think he bought it for like, people say he paid 300,000. Ina handizivi kuti akabhadhara here kana kuti akangopiwa nekuseri back door. And he says, they say it was evaluated for him to buy it at 300,000. They say it was evaluated at that much. Who evaluates in Zimbabwe? Mundi Udzeo. It's government, obviously, but which department? And then a few months down the line, it was re-evaluated at $900,000. That's like 300%. And then he sold it to the same government where he bought it from. Mungandiudze here kuti tiri right here kana vanhu vachiita izvozvo. What a twist in a few months down the line for him to get profit almost 100,000%. Sekupi kwamakamboona profit yakadaro. So when people say they are not just dreaming, they're not being honest. ZANU. If ZANU did well, I'll support them on any day. I'll support them. So guys, let's be truthful about our situation. And when people also talk about, I mean, there are many things that we hear in the public forum. Kufa kwa anonzani Mjuru. It's not Chiwenga who did that. Follow up with kudzingwa kwakaita mukadzi wake vice president. Akadzingwa say, how did Mugabe kick out? Vanhu vaiziva CIO was involved. Vaiziva kuti hopefully taking over as president. Guess who didn't want that? Mnangagwa didn't want that because he wanted the presidency. Akashanda ne-CIO pakabuda even Mugabe akataura nenyaya yacho after the coup. Ameno huku dzakaitwa ropa richitorwa zvichinzi menstrual blood. Mjuru Joyce anotora menstrual blood. But that's how the woman was kicked out. What is it? My diamonds. We ask Pastor Jangari, where were his bodyguards? Mungandiudza here kuti mabodyguards ake anga aripi for all that to happen? Is it Chiwenga who was in charge of the bodyguards? Guys, let's think. Mnangagwa is one guy who has developed a sneaky way of doing things. We can't be talking of the country is this, the country is this. How come the country is so good that evil, my friends, they make billions and they become multi-millionaires? Isusu ndisu tinoti kana tikaenda kuhospital vanoshaya kana blood, a pint of blood kuti vakuwedzere. I have had a friend's mom who they had to look for $15 to pay for the blood before she got treatment. Guys, we are not asking kuti isusu truda kuita president or vice president. We just want nyika inoshanda, a work. Who was supposed to die first? Chiwenga wacho. Ukanzwa nyaya dzeku-South Africa zvekuti this girl would go in achibvisa whatever, achibvisa the drip or something like that until my doctors amurambidza kupinda ipapo. I don't think Mary was doing that for herself. She was doing it for hama dzake dzanga dzamutuma.
Yeah, please, I would ask you, please, let's not say something that is before the courts and something also which is not evidence.
No, but people have said in this statement kuti Chiwenga ndiye akamubvisa makumbo. That is not true.
But nyaya yekutaura kuti anzi Mary akadzura macables iyoyo. Number one, it's before the courts, right? Number two, it doesn't have evidence. Number three, it is unimaginable. Number four, it's a similar accusation that Chiwenga once made on Jocelyn. Number five, it doesn't seem to be procedural, especially for people to just discuss like this. Let me finish. There are children. Let me finish. There are children who are at stake. So in as much as people might have their irritations about Mary, number five, it is not sensitive to children. who are likely to hear such accusations that do not have any logical basis, even legal basis at present. Thank you.
Yes, how about the statement yataurwa kunzi murume wake ndiye akamubvisa makumbo and all that?
You're not doing tit for tat.
No, it's not true. I'm just saying it's not true.
No, but he himself is the one who said Mulonimara. It's not about what someone else said. He is the one who threatened to make people disabled. He used the term that described his own wife condition.
Die himself?
Sorry?
Wasn't he meant to die himself? Wasn't he meant to die himself?
Both of them were ill at the same time. It was Mary who was bombed at White City, not Chuen, not
So did they do that to each other, or did they do that to each other, or it's an external party?
I'm just saying, answering you specifically on that matter. Anyway, please continue.
Yes, so I'm not worried about who is president. I'm just worried on how is the country's economy being run. You have guys like Mtuli. He's not a dummy. He understands economy. Why is he not coming up with a functioning economy? Why not? The only thing they come up with is them making billions, multi-millions. Ndopandine problem ipapo. We know we can't all be millionaires, but at least kind of patara things are working. You know. In our and it's such. Oh, there are other countries within the region like kana kuti what we call it gudo rikauya rikaita kuti nyika yedu ishande zvakanaka. I will hug that animal. I'll hug it. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Wow. Who's next? I think is it Chief? Yeah, it must be Chief Sose, Mambo Sose, or is it Senior? Okay, Mambo Sose, shoot.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Simba. My sister Comfort, I hope you are doing well. It has been long. And you guys, thank you for the work that you continue to do. Some of us disappear and we come back. But of course, in the background, there'll be a lot going on. But you guys, you are always here, always doing the work for the people, informing people, giving people very, very relevant information. So thank you for your work. I'll begin by saying the same things that I said when Comrade Geza addressed the people. We were here on Zimai, and Simba was asking, what do you expect from the war veterans? What should Geza address? What do you think he's going to say? And on that day, I said, we welcome Comrade Geza to the people's trenches. We welcome him to the people's agenda because the issues that he is raising, that he was raising and that he is still raising today are issues that affect people, are issues that resonate with all the citizens. There are issues, of course, that citizens have been talking about since time immemorial, since the time of Robert Mugabe and Emerson Mnangagwa, they are the same issues that Morgan Tsvangirai died fighting for, speaking out about. They are the same issues that Nelson Chamisa took over, has been talking about and continues to talk about. So honestly, there is really nothing new that Comrade Geza is doing in terms of highlighting those important issues. Of course, what he has done that is special, maybe that we didn't do, that the people didn't do that much, is to say out the names and get some more information about to do with corruption. That's what we have been saying. That's what got us in the trenches in the first place. That's what we continue to talk about as a democratic alternative even today. But having said that, I'm not saying Comrade Geza is not relevant, is not doing something important. I actually appreciate the fact that he is one person who has rose up and he is defending the Constitution, whether he's defending it for his own selfish gains or for the reasons that he know or that we all suspect, that he wants the general to take over. He wants one faction in ZANU-PF to take over. Rompas, can you mute your phone? Yeah, okay, thank you. Whether he's doing it for that, we do have to appreciate that at least he is standing up, he is speaking up, and he is doing something about the Constitution. And to me, that's very key. That's very critical, because I don't understand why all of us, why we would not be defending the Constitution. Any patriotic Zimbabwean should be standing up and defending the Constitution. We live in countries that respect the Constitution, and you see people going all out to defend the Constitution. Some even, go to jail defending the Constitution. And I don't want to minimize even the work that Zimbabweans themselves have done. This Constitution that we are talking about is not a ZANU-PF Constitution. It is a national Constitution. It is a Zimbabwean Constitution. It is a Constitution that we did put in place, that Zimbabweans, some of them that are here, some that are not here, some that are in Zimbabwe, actually, put effort to put in place. And it was not easy. People were arrested. Some people were, got killed. Some people were maimed trying to get this Constitution in place. It might not be the best Constitution. Everything that we fought for, everything that we voted for in that no yes vote that we did back then and won may not have been enacted. But it is a better Constitution because we are the one who put it in place. We voted for it. It has loopholes, yes. It's work in progress. But why would we fold our arms as citizens and stand aside and allow Emerson Mnangagwa and his cabal to run roughshod over the Constitution that we fought so hard to put in? I don't get it. When do we want to stand up? When Emerson Mnangagwa is already in? Remember what they did in Bulawayo when they sat down and said, we want him to extend his term by 2 years to 2030. And then they saw that the citizens were quiet. We were quiet. We didn't do much. We didn't put in a lot of effort to stop him. If you give a dictator an inch, they take a mile, they take a kilometer. And now they're talking about 2035. They are no longer talking about 2030, which means they've already seen that the resistance is not as it should have been. So what then stops them in 2035 to say we are extending the term to 2040? What stops them? So this is where the situation we are putting ourselves in as Zimbabweans. And this is why I get fired up when it comes to the constitution. Yes, we can talk about other things. We can talk about what the ZANU-PF internal fights, but this has already gone beyond a ZANU-PF internal fight. It transcends ZANU-PF internal fight because it's now affecting our constitution. It's now affecting us as a people, maybe even as a generation, maybe even further than our generation to the generations that are to come. If we allow Emmerson Mnangagwa to change the constitution, what stops him from changing it again? So my plea to the people of Zimbabwe is, if you do not want to join Geza in doing what he's doing, why are we not coming together as citizens and coming up with something that defends the constitution, that stops these people from messing and trampling on our constitution? We shouldn't be doing that. It's a bad precedence that we are setting. We cannot be waiting. We cannot watch and wonder and then start talking or maybe make noise when the constitution has already been messed around with. We can't do that. We need to do something right now. I know when I speak like this, some people will be saying, "Oh, Chief is supporting General." I've already been accused of doing that, of being that, but I don't care because I am talking about the Constitution, and that's all. If I support the people getting in the streets, yes, it can be done. If Zimbabweans, if the citizens come together and have a plan and have a strategy, we can get in those streets and still participate with the people that are in ZANU-PF. But when they get in there, when we get in there, when they are saying Chiwenga must get in, it is still our right to tell them that we are having none of that. We are not getting off the streets. We want a transitional authority. We want 2023 election to be resolved. We want a BCD. We should be. What is stopping us as citizens from coming up with our own demands, with our own non-negotiable demands that we should be putting forward? Not to Comrade Geza, but even as we march, as we get in those streets. One of the things that we identified when we're talking about this with some people is in 2017, we did not even have our own simple things like a placard. You know, a placard speaks 1,000 words because there are things that will be in there that are written on there. We did not have them. People that marched, they went and they were given placards that had messages from ZANU-PF. What they wanted is what was being shown. What they wanted is what the world saw, that they just wanted to remove Mugabe. They just wanted to restore legitimacy. We didn't have. What is stopping us right now from coming up with our own placards that have our own demands that are talking about 2023, that 2023 has to be addressed, because it has to be addressed. There are no two ways about it. Some people are pointing fingers at President Chamisa, saying, why is he still talking about 2023? But my brother who was speaking here, he answered that question very well, that he is trying to, I don't want to repeat that, but he is right by demanding 2023. And we should be doing that. I know some people are now taking advantage and saying, oh, because President Chamisa said 2023 must be resolved, then we're not going to get in the streets. That's not it. That's not it. You are seeing the Constitution is being trampled upon. You get in the streets. You cannot wait for President Chamisa to tell you to get in the streets. And that's the biggest mistake that we have made as Zimbabweans, because we personalize the revolution. We want someone to tell us what to do. And I can tell you that if today President Chamisa says, let's get in the streets, the people will still not get in there. They will be saying, we want to see him first in the streets. They want to see him right in there. It's that mentality that we've always had, that we want someone to be there. We want a liberator. You know, Che Guevara says, no, liberators do not exist in this world. President Chamisa is not a liberator. So is Geza. Geza is not a liberator. Job Scala is not a liberator. Any other person, you can even take Nelson Mandela or Obama, you put them in Zimbabwe, they will never be our liberator. The people must liberate themselves. We must liberate ourselves. Kana tarowa nenhamo chaizvo tanyatsoziva kuti panapa pasina kwekuenda, we will get in the streets without anyone. That is where I thought, with the levels of corruption that my sister was talking about here, I thought people were there where they could just get in the streets without waiting for someone, without waiting for someone to be in there first. And unfortunately, I don't think we are there. But we as Zimbabweans, we need to come together. We need to find ourselves. And as I prepare to land, I just want to point at one anomaly that our comrade is making, Comrade Geza. I don't know if there's anyone who speak to him. I know some do, or some speak to these people that are closer to him. But it would be better if you could, get people together, galvanize people, make contact with people, talk to people, reach out to people. I can tell you for certain, that he hasn't reached out to people like President Chamisa. He hasn't, in the manner that he should be addressing someone who has over 2 million votes, in his pocket. I don't even think he has even approached people like Job Scala. Job Scala, if he had been approached, you'll be talking about it. You know Job Scala, who he is. You'll be talking about it. So those are things that are, if there are people here that are closer to him, they should just be, talking to him and encouraging him to reach out, so that this becomes a truly people's revolution. But of course, the most important thing is to speak to the people, to the citizens, and address the citizens and tell them that this is what is going to happen. We know that he talks about Chiwenga and so forth and so forth. But I don't think that should be the way to go. We shouldn't be getting in the streets then for us to be handed over another leader, another dictator. There's no difference, like Simba was saying, between Chiwenga and Emerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. Chiwenga would just be Mugabe 3.0 or Emerson Mnangagwa 2.0. But like I said, even if we get in those streets, we get in with our demands. And when the soldiers are saying, we are done here, when Geza is saying, we are done here, we want to put Chiwenga, the people, the citizens have power. We have so much power. We just don't realize the power that we have. We will tell them that we're not getting off the streets until we have a transitional authority, until 2023 has been resolved. But yes, those things are possible if we, the citizens, organize ourselves. But that is it may. I will continue to say, let's go on Friday. Those who can, let's participate and do what we can in order to stop Emerson Mnangagwa and his cabal from changing the constitution. If we allow the constitution to change, I can tell you the suffering that we are seeing now will be doubled. Thank you very much, Simba. Thank you, Comfort, and thank you, everyone.
Oh, thank you very much. So my analysis today is, even if Chiwenga is a destroyer, I think people know I have been a very, very strong critic of him. He's one leader who I've confronted directly, and I've done that, I believe, in the spirit of Ubuntu and humanity, and things that I alerted Chiwenga 5 years ago became true. These are the things that Muchanga, for instance, started speaking against him recently. It was only this year in March, 5 years after I phoned Chiwenga 5 years ago, demanding respect for the mother of his kids and the like and a few other things. But anyway, my analysis here, I've just said that even if Chiwenga is a destroyer, many believe he might at least reset the cycle. A reformer by exhaustion. I hope it makes sense. But both these two, they are mambaras. Mambara akomana to zinemwe ndakaona ari ndobhorwampama vese vari two, one after the other, because they've really been notorious. And one thing, Chiwenga must also take the blame for allowing. I mean, look, you kana uri murume zveshuwa unofanira kumbetawo pullback utomboona kuti zveshuwa ka aiwa ndakaparticipatawo kudestroya nyika inoi, because makaspenda 60 years ndimi makachikudza chinhu chinonzi munangagwa ichichi, manga muchiitei makore esaya. So it means kuti muri part of it, you're part of the corruption. Pamwe mutori mawesi zvigananda ipapo, pamwe tichitongopinda muzimbabwe izvozvo, in the new Zimbabwe ndimi chatanga kutora zvimacontract, imimi wacho nana Geza wacho naimimi. Saka ndo zvinhu zvachona izvi zvokuti people have to really reflect and make a decision. Do you want to be reformers, or you just want to be beneficiaries, people who just don't go to raw opportunity? And I think these are the uncomfortable discussions that people have to go. They have undertake during this crucial time of what could be a true and real and lasting transition. But at the same time, folks, what if? Chief, are you there? What if ED wins? The what if is always important, right?
And then we are in trouble. We are in big trouble.
What if ED wins, Senor?
Hi, Simba.
That what if ED awina hondo yamana imuri mamuri pa Twitter? Ana Senor muchibheka ana soko bienyu.
It's a painful thought, guys. Mambo guys, comfort, how are you, fellow Zimbabweans? Revolutionary greetings to all of you. Blessed are those who are still fighting to liberate, fighting with a cause, one cause, which speaks to having the generation to come at heart. I borrow a speech from one of the people that we are talking about here in his capacity as acting president 2 weeks ago. And allow me to first say, glory be to God for the time that we've been given to discuss as people. It's a family meeting, I suppose. It's very important. Others have died. Vasina kuiona Zimbabwe. Teno tava mukati medu pane vamwe vakaita vamwe vachaiona Zimbabwe. I'm talking about the freedom, the free Zimbabwe. People have invested in the houses. Mucharangarira here pakabuda results 2023. People cried, Simba. We've forgotten Wakanganga. People cried. Some of us, there are people who invested in this revolution. Families are broken. So this is not a joke. I'll start from what Simba said. Most of you guys, Jean Gasho had a very good social relationship with the father. Ndiye angari homwe yamutota, yadzimba mutota. Iye Jean amunoona uyo akaita mashiripiti kuyaduku. There are some audios that I sent here, and the question that she asked me is, how did you hook up with my father? Truly so. My father used to tell me all these things. I didn't listen. Now, point I want to make from what Simba said, we're talking of the spirit and the person. Depends we say kuna fata, kuna priest, kuna profita. These are titles. The person, he shared a lot of things about the guys, including these war veterans that we are talking about, some of them. It's very important to have a historic background in wakati sinyoro kana vanhu votaura nyaya yenyika inofanira kuisa mutupo aside because zvobvira pamutupo ipapo pakukakanyara pakusada kunzwa pakuoma musoro apa. But in line with what you said, Simba, and he even composed a song kuti ndiani akanga asipo zvinhu zvikanganisika akanzi ndiani imi makatiza nemi makasara nesu vana sinyoro my age group takaona zvichiitika. And I won't be doing justice to the young people, my born free and the generation to come if I don't say this. I apologize. Personally, I apologize for allowing things to deteriorate. Takazona, I'm a product of Rhodesia. Takapemberera Zimbabwe. I probably think we are the chosen generation. Those born in the 60s into the 70s, early 70s. Because we've I wish I could go back and listen again, because most of these things they're being said, but it goes back to mashoko ako Simba. Tese iwewe uri kuona zvinhu zvikanganisika zvinogadzirwa naye. And it also resonates with we have a problem yekuteerera vanhu. It's not about Mugabe. It's not about Changira. It's not about the next leader. That has always been my words in him. So why can't we come up with our own? We come to a point of kufunga kuti without ZANU-PF there's no life, there's no Zimbabwe. That is nonsense. There's life after Mnangagwa. It's important to understand where you're coming from. Ask yourself, how did you end up in London? How did you end up in New York, in Nigeria? There's a reason. And then going forward, the three-leg approach, it's important then to say, okay, what is the way forward for Zimbabwe? What is the way forward for my life? In that life, do I want to die in diaspora? I don't want to die in diaspora. But it's again one wishful thinking. It's a very sad situation in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, a commission of inquiry. I know this sounds like nonsensical. Why not? If we are to set a precedence, let's set a precedence. We've got clinics world over, law clinics, psychologists can help us. If we are insane running away from our country, so let's have a concept paper to say, nation in Zimbabwe, everything is okay, and then the words home is best should not apply. Then it should be on record that it only applies not for Zimbabwe. How can we be a nation that is the richest in everything? Human capital. If you had to do a database, the people that are running the globe, it's scary. Richest soul on the planet. Something's not right. Now, in the same line, and I'm not legitimizing. And the swag dear president. And in that speech, go and watch that. I thought I was the only one. Somebody even says, I thought this is Mugabe. Everything, whether the current wife is doing a good job or not, the difference is the same. It is the message that he speaks of. You, the custodians, the youth that are here, you are the custodians of our resources. They are not yours. And that is a powerful message. You are just the custodians because the pakata are not going to reserve. And by the way, he's not the alpha and omega of those, such statements. And we should not hero worship individuals. It's important to go 360, but it resonates with what Ron Planks was saying. We do not have the historic background, maybe. Who was Chiwenga in the 80s? He was a small boy. And underline and Tsitsi. Kumfarira, it's one thing, but when you talk of issues of national interest, let's leave the brotherhood, the sisterhood. Ngatisiye zvemutupo kana kufarirana. Handimuzive Chiwenga, ndongomufarira pakuti ndongomufananidzira kungoti bloodline kumaputukezi ndikoko. Not for political reasons. Kutumwa kunoitwa ona mudhana naiti. Those who know, they know. It's a privilege to have a shared understanding of what is happening in Zimbabwe, and I'm proudly so. I mean, I'm not shy. Personally, I'm not shy, especially now. And as Simba but I try also to be categorically correct. Members of state security here present, I'm not a member of a terrorist organization. I refuse to be an enemy of the state. And these people are not enemies of the state. Hence, I'm here gathered with them. And we should be very clear and honest about it. There's no jigga about it. I refuse, on behalf of all Zimbabweans who are surely, truly fighting to liberate Zimbabwe, including William Shinyanga Arunjere. He's not a terrorist. Shame on you, British. Subject for another day. And I'm not apologetic. He's not a terrorist. If you say he's a terrorist, then there are 2-3 questions. How do you accommodate a person? And then through the processes, you give them indefinite leave to remain. That means your security system is kaput. Let's leave that one. I'm not a terrorist. And I'm not a spy. I'm delivering some of the hidden funds just like other people are delivering some of the hidden funds. It's out of desperation. So if you understand why Tongogara died, how did Mjuri become commander? It's the same thing. Chiwenga pasina madhara aripo vana zvina vashevanga vasipo. Guys, let's be sober. Even in business, kune fronting. Kana Chiwenga achida kutanga kunotumirwa vanhu. All I'm saying is he was a victim. He's still a victim of circumstances. Up until 2017, he's been used. Ndofunga ropa rake rakashatawo pakushandiswa muchiwenga. But we haven't come to a point of analyzing these things and trying to understand it. Okay, problem iri papi chaicho. Mopo iri pamusana here kana kuti the whole Zimbabwean situation, we've become a culture inotosemesa. I can't afford not to be a Zimbabwean, unfortunately. But I have to call it out. Culture inotosemesa, family level, all the way up to Msore Kokoko. We disrespect laws, no ethics, no values. We don't even know who we are. Saka Chiwenga uyoga ane dzake umunhu asina dzake ndiani. And I'm not covering for him, I'm being honest. But I leave room to be corrected, no problem. So the historic background, Simba yakakosha. We had a pinch of salt here, people around blacks. Who is who in Zimbabwe? It's very important. It's very, very important. Mujura and Funge Adinambonzwa Pangari involved is that Pagukura Wundi. But can we why don't we ask ourselves but why he was the commander? Sitara Pisara and the parentship. He crossed his line because he was Air Force. But we don't want to accept it. Juru was also somebody who was his own characteristics. He was crazy like that. Maybe because Nukutanga Tibwa Ango pushing out the commander and he didn't qualify. Probably that's why he was rough and rough. This is why you are not Mtrangwa. Sometimes Gona Munachipenga Sana Mtrangwa Munageta Kutwa foot Panajiripo because some of us we know he's the one who brought China. So Mjuri news Kuti Pandaka Iskwa Panda Iskwa and qualify. Probably that's why he was a bully. He was a bully. But tell me where he fingered Banyai Kukura, contrary to him being a commander. We need to analyze these things and find out what's going on. So, Akaurai Wamjuru. Have you come to closure? No. But circumstances are very queer. They're very weird. With a system that is probably top 5 next to Mossab. Zimbabwean intelligence system is very strong and powerful. Hakuna chinoitika chino mvuru wako ukangodai vanokuona I mean, we some of you guys, you know that. Mutadza kuziva kuti chii chakaitika kuna Mujuru. Pane shoko rekuti ngazviende. Of course, a messed up deal, you're right, a messed up deal with the Egyptians, remember Diamond or whatever. They allowed the Egyptians to come and assassinate him. Kuti ngazviende. But the question of somebody dying, you know, Sekuru Mujuru ofa, osara gumbo, sure guys, Mazbabes, are you okay, musoro menyu? Osara gumbo. Munhu wakomanda otsva nemoto kufa kusara gumbo chete. That is problematic in a country like Zimbabwe. Vanarashiwe guzha vakafa hatisati tasvika kuna Dzamara. You can't have a nation like that. And then tosara tichipomerana and all that. I think a commission of inquiry by citizens, anything, everything in the go with, it should be done by citizens. Whether it's a unit of purpose this time around, everything should be for citizens, by citizens. Whether this Jambanja to remove the system, to crash the system of oppression. Mnyanga gwana ni basa risu. Nyokuti kamsiya achifaiga, atoperawo. Apera, anabasa. Kunomka kuna nation, we've got a problem ahead of us. But I'm being honest. You can't kill one fly out of 1,000 flies. Whitey, 2017 is the same thing, and the top pussies ones we are removing criminals around Mugabe. Up to now, I said those were at least criminals. You wish we could have a situation where all these criminals went away. In fact, that was the strategy from 2014, subject for another day. What was Gracie doing on behalf of Mugabe 2014 to 2017 to remove those criminals? Vice versa, the same criminals, because they found a tactful way of bringing Mugabe down, they are now saying they are removing criminals. So at least one would say, if we had remained with Mugabe, they are going to see but Zimbabwe would be a better country now. Learning from past experience, learning from our experience, from our mistakes is what I'm talking about. This is what Zimbabwe should be doing right now. We shouldn't be apologetic about it. It's politics, guys. And we should refuse this thing. We can't bring treasonous charges on political, discussion. I refuse. Up until you put a law in Zimbabwe that we should not discuss politics, then I think that's where they're heading to ban politics and come up with a dynasty, change the political system. Then, for now we have to deliver, say what I think, cry, howl, tuita mapungu totukana, kutukana kunotori right kuri healthy. Apana nyaya tingambonyeperana pana chachisimba. The historic background yakakoshesesa. If I'm not mistaken, he's probably one of the first people to supply fuel transfer. The rest was said by Ronplax here. She didn't say much. It's a pinch of salt. Akawana kupima rishingi mutasa. Tese tanga tishungori, chimborumo dzina kana chinhu. At least anababa vedu, nevamwe vakasponsor hondo. I'm proudly so, but I'm not gonna say much about that. But some of these people want to go fly by night. Anashinga wangobva kuchikoro 1980-81 atova mudhire fuel. He's now the one who has taken over the fuel supply, the fuel deal. TA Holdings, where did he get the money from? And what am I saying here? But sometimes but get me right, two wrongs don't make right. I'm not saying that it justifies war, but it's important to understand where did we adopt this culture. Deviating from Gutsa regime, which is supposed to be implemented, it's never too late. This is the reason why people went to the war. But the people, when they came back, they started nepotism. When you look at it, Kombai, Tongo Gara, ED relationship. Kombai was married to who? I mean, Tongo Gara was married to Kombai's brother and Kombai's sister. This is why I'm showing my pictures at Tongo Gara. I'm saying this so that we understand with Panapaka, any problem. It's just we are treated like, right? This is why you find that there is something historic with Zimbabwe. Kuti munhu exchange gunshots nemotoked. Kombai akarohwa pakati pemakumbo apa. Yet gunshots firing kuna muzenda, that is treasonous vakuru. Why asina kufa? Because aitaura nyaya yaanoziva kuti makauraya chi mudzimai murume wasisi. Emerson Damudzo Mnangagwa was married to Tongogara's sister. Who killed Tongogara? Who engineered that? And those are the issues that Kombai wanted to bring up. We'll leave that for another day. Simba Munyore Zvinezhi, we need to know who killed Tongogara, who killed Chitepo. We cannot have a situation where leaders are killed. Because if you come to understanding, but of course, it is a strategy by the enemy. In this case, we've got a strategy by the current system. And I'm a and I'm join a conference. Don't trust me, I do not trust you. That is the principle of a revolution. Try. And this system has mastered this game. The enemy, our enemy is Zimbabwe. They realized that Tongogara was not for a shabby deal, which is longest house agreement. What did they do? They closed people because he vowed, hell no. We thought this thing is genuine. We are going for the first election in Zimbabwe, led by Joshua Nkomo, which they didn't want to confirm. But now Mugabe wants to stand on his ticket. He said, hell no. Of course, it was going to cause a lot of mayhem. Through the intelligence, they assassinated Tongogara, but who did they use? One of us. And we need to be very careful. Mark my words. Citizens. Never fool yourself to read Mzano. Islogan yekupenga iya. Kana muri mese mzano wae muri kuurayana, vari kuurayiwana neopposition yerwana. Every other month, tinoimbira vanhu. Vaurayiwa nani? We don't care. So there's a cabal system, a bug which is to be crushed, Simba. It must be crushed. My interrelations, it's a subject yakatokura kuti titaure nezvayo. Tingopa a pinch of salt, ndakupa relationship yaTongogara, Mnangagwa naKombai. Pane ma-interrelations ipapo. Joshua Nkomo, who negotiated for Mugabe not to be assassinated in Ghana? Was it not Mugabe? Today, tinototadza kutoverenga kuti bona. It's bona. Mugabe's mother was in the belly. Mugabe's siblings were in the belly. But we are given a tribal card to divide us. How stupid we are. Close your eyes right now and think the people, the tribes that are in the system in the Kabah. You find the Namimbi, the Mamu, foreigners, Makaranga Mazezu, but it's to countries with tribal card. But now betting Pof. Hey, Innocent Kala, who is probably the main culprit of Kukura Wundi. Akatenda Mandebele Lizagunya, Mchamama. I'm sorry to use that word. That's what he said. Because of politics. And check who Innocent Kala was, very influential. So what are we saying here? Is it in the belation? No. But it's not what the Okada Kutu was Semun took in Zunu. They bring a tribal card to confuse us. At night they wine and dine these people. But they've disrespected us to a point of whining and dining with our own for the longest time, with leaders in front of us masquerading as leaders, opposition leaders. Guys, are we not that angry? Are we not that angry, guys? I'm sorry to hate you guys. Kanari Nsiga, he's not coming back. I bet you, Itai Paul Banaba, Dokuruwa Marizukti heck, he's not coming back, because I'm now proud and speaking eloquently, because sometimes you doubt your thinking. I'm not going to doubt anymore. I wrote, and I even wrote direct to Jonathan Moy. No, that is Alpha and Omega. It is there on record. What if he wakes up one day, I'm hanging my boots? I was thinking, and you must think, guys. Like Simba is asking, we must think. What if Nangaga Mkaka? We must
These big people that are Elon Musk, which is not a secret. What is we are bickering? Are we going to, if we are not careful, if we are not awakened through and through, are we not going to look at each other again under the table? Same line, are they not arranging position themselves? I can tell you, asking me if I'm wrong, Elon Musk is not just a license. He's for maybe already has been given the rights to own our minerals. Number one on the list.
Right. Okay. So Dr. Mavaza wapinda pana papa. Derauti patangotanga yeah, Comrade Signor. Right. So quickly. Yeah. Good evening, Dr. Mavaza. How you can you hear me over there, sir?
Good evening, Simba, and good evening, Zimbabwe.
Is low. Is it mine or what? Yes, your volume is low. Let me just put it mine. Yes, go ahead, please. Good evening to you.
Yes, good evening, Simba, and good evening, Zimbabwe.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes. Dr. Mavaza, thank you for coming in at a late hour. And I know it's very late over there, but I think you can see that it might actually be early morning in Zimbabwe. Early morning in the sense that people are expecting a new president anytime soon. And you are laughing, sir, but Comrade Geza has made it clear very much today that the time to send Emerson Mnangagwa home is here, has come. And I can see you're wearing a uniform, a regalia that has got Mnangagwa's face on. Very soon you'll be wearing Gudo there. It will be the monkey or the Gudo who is going to be it will be Signoro's face, Signoro's brother's picture there after Friday. Yeah, talk to us in. How does it feel, Dr. Mavaza? I think that is the biggest question there. Take us in. Maybe we'll give you 3 minutes, uninterrupted time. What is your temperature gauge? What is your thermometer saying at present? Zimbabweans are now not just calling, but they are expecting change. They're expecting Mnangagwa to be off the books in the next 48 hours. Talk to us.
Thank you, Simba. Thank you very much, Simba, and thank you, Zimbabwe, for listening. Yes, I can see the excitement is mostly on social media. I am on the ground. There was Central Committee meeting today. There was Politburo yesterday. The president was actually there together with the vice president in the Central Committee. And the Central Committee members were given some of their cars. So in short, on the ground, the temperature is not as hot as people are feeling outside the country. We do not, yes, we do agree there is commotion in the ranks, but the commotion, the boiling, the problems, the friction in the ranks, it simply strengthens ZANU-PF. One thing you must understand about ZANU-PF, Simba, is that when we do not have an active opposition, we test each other's powers by having commotions and frictions within our ranks. But this is very important and it is very good. It strengthens the party. This is not a sign of going anywhere. Tomorrow, Zimbabweans, ZANU-PF delegates will be meeting in Mutare, and starting tomorrow and Friday and Sabbath, and the president will be and the vice presidents will all be there. There will be no change of president come tomorrow. There will be no change of president come to Saturday or Sunday. Yes, I respect Comrade Geza. He can talk about action. I can assure you guys, he will sit there and wait for action. There will be no action tomorrow, and there will be no action this week. So the president will remain the president until 2028. The issue of 2030 is another issue which we can discuss about, which I don't prescribe to, but it's not the issue. Again, remember,
What is happening now is not a congress, it's a conference. Most of resolutions will be discussed tomorrow, on Friday, and passed on Friday, and read to the delegates on Saturday, and the conference is closed. It is not an elective congress, and therefore there will be nothing to be done there. Yes, we are aware that there were some few people who were paid or who believed to have been paid to heckle the vice president. I can assure you that will not happen, because you cannot heckle the vice president if you're a member of ZANU-PF. You cannot heckle the president if you're a member of ZANU-PF, because ZANU-PF members respect their leaders, respect their leadership, and therefore we will not have such ridiculing of our leaders by any of our members, both or otherwise. The conference is going to be very peaceful, and we do not expect any change of any government or of a new president in the coming 2 days. So yes, you can dream on and hope on. I'm sorry to disappoint those who are thinking that the government is going to change tomorrow. No, it will not. And yes, I understand the need and the excitement everybody who could be having now, but this is not going to happen. Yes, things the ground is not very stable, but ZANU-PF is as solid as it had never been. And the one thing we must always remember is ZANU-PF gets stronger, and when it seems like it's fighting. And ZANU-PF looks like it's fighting when there is no opposition. And ZANU-PF comes together strong when there is an opposition. Unfortunately, we don't have an opposition, so we are testing each other's powers.
Right. Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Mavaza. Here is saying, look, we are testing each other's powers. Do you know why? I don't know why my video is refusing. I think my device is faulty or something. I'm using a computer. I think there's a conflict somewhere. But quickly, Dr. Mavaza, are you trying to tell me then that the noise that is happening at present, you're telling me that this is just testing each other's powers and nothing is going to pop out, nothing is going to happen? I mean, don't you think you are playing with people's minds here? When stuff is actually physically happening, people can see the tables have turned. Not that they are turning, but there
is no table turning anyway at the moment. I am not saying, you see, there's a point you must understand here. Yes, there are squabbles, there are talks. We've seen some rowdy members heckling the vice president, and we've seen a lot of people praising the vice president. If you remember, 2 days ago at the funeral at Hiroseka, at the burial of the hero, we had people singing and praising the vice president, and with some singing and praising the president as well. If this happens, factions are very important and very essential for any party. One thing you must realize about ZANU-PF is we can look very, very, very factious, but the point is the same. We come out strong. The difference between us and any opposition we've ever seen in Zimbabwe is when the factions create cracks in ZANU-PF, we fill them with unity and with strength. But when they when they do the same to the opposition, they crack open. So ZANU-PF is not to be measured at the level where we've measured the opposition. ZANU-PF is strong, and it's very strong when it looks divided. At this time, yes, I agree with you that there is commotion in the hierarchy of the party, but this commotion is only but a short period, and it will soon go. So there is no other problem here.
Right, but here's a question, Dr. Mavaza. I'm hoping those who want to ask Dr. Mavaza, we only have him for 10 minutes. So please come in, and right now we're left with 7 minutes. Those who want to ask him questions, write them down. And if you want to ask something, then we can also put you on audio. Okay. Someone is asking here, Dr. Mavaza, syllogism says, what is causing the commotion in Zimbabwe since you said there is commotion? Chichiru Konzeres.
I can answer again this way.
Yes.
I am not saying there's commotion in Zimbabwe. I said there is commotion in ZANU-PF leadership, not in the country. The country is very peaceful, and we don't have a problem. And I have said, and I'll repeat, when you see the leaders of a party looking like they are on each other's throat, it is actually what we call sibling banter. They are actually coming together. They are growing stronger in their misunderstandings. Yes, there has been a problem where Vice President Chiwenga is actually calling out on corruption and asking the president to deal with corruption. And again, the president is looked at and is probably seen as if he's protecting the guys singled out as corrupt. I have read, as you have, Simba, one of the viewers here, has put a comment down there to say, is the response put by Ziambi testing powers of the VP or not? And what am I saying? I am simply saying the factions, yes, are there for all to see. And the leaked document, which has been deliberately leaked by Ziambi and his team, purported to be attacking the vice president, and probably where they confronted him today in the Central Committee meeting, is simply their democratic right to ask. The vice president is a human being and he is prepared to answer questions. So when they approached him, asked questions, he answered. Yes, of course, in their response, there are some valid points they've raised, but there are some very clear lies they've made about Elder Tagirei assisting in 2017 program, which is not very correct. But what we are talking about here is, yes, it looks like there is turmoil up the presidium. It could be, but it is that turmoil which strengthens the party. And any party you have seen in everywhere in the world, they become stronger after they've tested each other's powers. You can only make things settle by shaking them. Without shaking, there will be no settlement. So we are going through a period of shaking as a party, and the settlement is actually beckoning. And I can assure you, there will be no problem tomorrow from Geza or from anybody else. And to Comrade Geza, he has a right to say what he's saying. He has a right to stand up for what he believes in, but he has no right to cause destabilization in a democratically elected government. We as Zimbabwe, we believe that a government can only be removed democratically and not in any other way. So we cannot repeat the 2017 saga today, even though the script which is playing now reminisces the 2017 script. But the difference is, for now, the party is simply going through a shaking period. And I can assure you tomorrow, I'll be back here if you want this time, and I'll be sharing with you pictures of Mutare, jubilant ZANU-PF members who are in Mutare now, roaming the streets of Mutare with us, and we are all happy because we still rally behind our party. Our party is not a party of an individual. It is a party of people. ZANU vanhu izanu. Saka bongozozo ramuri kuona ramuri kufunga tiri kuitika iri aiwa kungoedzana masimba kwevatungamiri vezanu. Hakusi kuparara kwemusangano, asi kuumba chinhu chimwe chete chinonzi ZANU-PF. Simba, are you there?
Yeah, very much here. Thank you very much. Right. Can we have the two of the last questions, please? Yeah.
Simba, I just want to react to what Dr. Mao was saying. I might have missed some of his stuff, but I just want to let the people know that Dr. Mao is doing his job. You know, he's paid to do exactly what he's doing, calming the ship down and giving people propaganda. Propaganda simply means telling people lies so that people calm down. The truth of the matter is there is chaos in ZANU-PF, and as citizens, we need to take advantage of that. And what he is calling kuumba msangano, chinhu chinobuda chakatoumbika chakasimba. If kuumba msangano kwavo now means that they have to bastardize our constitution, then we cannot stand by. We cannot stand akimbo and watch that happening. We will fight, we will do everything that we can so that we safeguard our constitution. It's sacrosanct. Nobody should be tampering with the constitution, no matter their agenda, no matter what they are trying to achieve in ZANU-PF. The constitution at the end is not a ZANU-PF constitution. It is a national constitution. It is Zimbabwe's constitution. It was voted in by the people. Zimbabwean citizens, we supported, we participated in the formulation of that constitution, and nobody should wake up any morning, any day, and say, I want to change the constitution. And the reasons why they want to change the constitution should make everyone angry, including a person like Dr. Mavaza. You live in the United Kingdom where there is constitutionalism, and you come here, you go around and say everything is okay. When some people are planning every day to change the land's constitution so that it benefits a certain group of people that are looting, it's not changing the constitution for the betterment of the nation, for the better of Zimbabwe, or for the benefit of the citizens of Zimbabwe. It is for the benefit, obviously, of Emerson Mnangagwa, his children, Auxilia, and his cabal. So any right-thinking person, any patriotic citizen, Dr. Mavaza included, and many other people in ZANU-PF should be critical of that and should be doing something to ensure that nobody tampers with the nation's constitution.
Right. Thank you very much, Chief. Yeah. And then now,
allow me to respond to Chief before we go to the question.
Yeah. If you could hold on to Dr. Mavaza, because there's another. This one is coming in as a question. I think Chief is dropping a comment, but here is a question to you, Dr. Mavaza. It's come from Comfort Rondo, and she says, I have a question. What is the point of having a strong ZANU-PF when the nation is crumbling, including people like yourselves who are not even on the ground, right about the current state of Zimbabwe? ZANU-PF's power endures, not because the nation is thriving, but because it controls the state, the security forces in the national story. Decades of liberation war history, patronage networks, and weak opposition have allowed the party to dominate even as Zimbabwe's economy, health, and education systems collapse. Power today is maintained through coercion, propaganda, and control, not popular legitimacy. The patriotic bill, suppression of protests, and divided opposition all keep citizens disempowered. Meanwhile, corruption and infighting, including public clashes between Mnangagwa's allies and Chiwenga, expose deep fractures within the ruling party elite. A strong ZANU-PF no longer means a strong Zimbabwe. Don't you agree, Dr. Mavaza there?
Okay, the first thing the question here is to understand is when you have a strong ruling party, you have a strong government and you have a strong country. And again, for the benefit of that person's doubt, I am right now sitting in Mutare, Zimbabwe, for the conference which kicks off tomorrow. So I am on the ground. And I have been all over the country for the past week. I am in Zimbabwe and not in the UK, even though I'll go back to UK later. But now the point is, the point of having a strong ruling party is actually saying if the head is strong, the body is guided strongly and in a better way. And therefore, the Zimbabwean people would be looking forward to a strong political party to lead them, not to a party which can be divided or destroyed by a small squabble. The squabbles which look like happening in ZANU-PF now, as I've said and I'll repeat it again, they are only sibling banter and they are actually strengthening the party. And therefore, there is no alarm to be caused by what is happening in ZANU-PF and what we perceive to be happening, which might not even be happening. And again, we need to understand, so let me respond to Chief Sose in his confusion of what's happening in the party. We are not here to say propaganda. We are here to say the truth and what is on the ground. And for Chief Sose to say that Zimbabweans must unite and remove the government of President Mnangagwa. Yet his own boss, Chamisa, said he's not going to be part of this because he has learned his lesson. He realized that there is no other party which is qualified to rule Zimbabwe except ZANU-PF. And Chamisa said that loudly. And I don't know where Chief Soswe was when his boss was saying it. So he must take a leaf from Chamisa and do not get involved if he's afraid. Zimbabweans must be involved to strengthen their country, strengthen their party. We have had a party which ruled the country for all these years without any civil war except the first 2 years of independence. And for that, we are one of the first African countries which has never had a squabble in so much years. And therefore, we should thank ZANU-PF for bringing peace to Zimbabwe and maintaining it. It's not only that they brought peace, they maintained it, they are still maintaining it. And I can assure you again, Simba, and all Zimbabweans listening today, there is nothing happening tomorrow. I'll be calling you, Simba, live if you can, tomorrow to show you the streets of Harare, streets of Mutare, and everywhere you want to see. You can even see my president and my vice president all together shaking hands and smiling.
You won't be calling me. You won't be calling me from Chikurupi Maximum.
No,
From
I'll be
inside.
calling it definitely from the heart of Zimbabwe, and therefore, and from the a place where all ZANU-PF members are gathering today, rather the delegates for our yearly conference. And I've told you this conference is done every year. It is not anything to do with what people think is happening. It is simply everything to do with strengthening the party, looking what we've done last year, what we'll do next year, and sharpen our tools and correcting what we've done wrong. Now, there is a question whether this is an issue of supporting corruption or Zigananda or not. No, I am not supporting corruption. And nobody in ZANU-PF supports corruption. And when the vice president came up to call out corruption, we are all supporting him on calling out corruption. And those who are mistaking the fight as if it's a fight for corruption and somebody supporting corruption, they are wrong. Nobody with his five senses would support corruption. We are all supporting and seeking life, good life, and good economy for the people of Zimbabwe and for the economy of Zimbabwe. And what is happening now and what ZANU-PF is doing for the next 3 days is crucial for the nation because our resolutions will help and save the nation. Now, coming to the issue of the constitutional breach raised by Thief Soshe, it is surprising that he talks of the constitution. We are not talking about Zimbabwean constitution in the conference. We are talking about ZANU-PF and ZANU-PF issues. The national issues are dealt with at a national level. This is a party level. It's not a national event. It is a party event. And therefore, whatever we discuss tomorrow, we are sorting out our problems, which we don't have, and we are going to remain resolute, and we're going to remain together. We are going to remain one party, which is stronger than it was before. And therefore, what I can simply urge to all people, please don't expect any change tomorrow. The only change which I expect tomorrow is you changing your heart and joining ZANU-PF, because ZANU-PF iwo mwenokwana munhu wese, your place is still there, including you, Simba. You can come and join ZANU-PF. You are welcome. And everybody out there, you are welcome to join ZANU-PF and enjoy with us as we celebrate the end of our party year through this conference.
Dr. Mabaza, thank you very much. I am wondering if there's any last question, because we only had 10 minutes and we really have to go. But we're going to ask Dr. Mabaza to come back tomorrow and update us on what's happening. I think it will be important to do a live video as he proposed there. I'm hoping he's not going to do a live video in the middle of bullets firing.
There will be no bullet firing. There will be no tank on the street. There will be us Zimbabweans celebrating and thanking God for being here. So for tomorrow, there will be nothing happening. Please don't be afraid, and don't be disappointed, because there will be nothing of any sort. There will be no change of any government, but there will be actually enhancing the power of ZANU-PF and our grip in the government and in the state at large. and making life better for each and every Zimbabwean and dealing away with corruption. Yes, that is ZANU-PF is against corruption. We don't want corruption and we are working against it. And this conference will show you that we are not a corrupt party, but we are a party which fights corruption. Even our vice president is in the forefront of fighting corruption. We cannot listen to people, and I'll raise it now, Simba, in conclusion. We cannot listen to lunatics like Temba Mliswa, who thinks he is the spokesperson for everybody. ZANU-PF is not a corrupt party. The vice president is not fighting individuals. He is fighting corruption. It is very difficult and very dangerous to fight corruption. But we have got a bold man who said we are fighting corruption. And the party is not divided. The party rallies behind its president, President Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Mavaza. We're gonna need to shut, folks.
But Simba, Simba, we can't allow Dr. Mavaza to come here and pacify people and lie.
Yeah. Can I give you 30 seconds? 30 seconds. Make it short and sharp, please. Yeah.
And give me 30 seconds to respond too.
Simba, he knows very well that the issue of 2030, 2035, whatever they are calling it now, is on the agenda at the conference. It started at the Blawayo conference, where they passed the resolution that Emerson Mnangagwa needs a term extension, and they've been talking about it. And that is not ZANU-PF. That is not just a ZANU-PF constitution that is being changed. It is the national constitution that is going to be changed. And everybody knows that. So do not come here and mislead people, Dr. Mavaza. Do your job, get your money from ZANU-PF and enjoy it, but don't come here and lie to the people of Zimbabwe.
Okay, so but let me just respond quickly. The first thing is, I am surprised with Chief Soshe. Chief Soshe, it is actually your party led by Sengezo Chabangu, which actually was asking the president to suspend elections in 2028. But the president is a constitutionalist. He says elections will continue in 2028. We have to start preparing for elections now. So, and there will be no issue of changing the constitution. If it is there, it is not dealt with at this conference. And it is a democratic right to discuss changes in anything which touches the lives of Zimbabweans, because ZANU-PF is for the people of Zimbabwe, and the people of Zimbabwe are for ZANU-PF. And therefore, shame on those little people who think that they are big by criticizing their own party and their own country. Zimbabwe will always be strong and will remain strong, and ZANU-PF will always lead and will remain leaders of this country as long as we are united, and we are going to enforce and enhance that unity in this conference. And I wish we could invite you, but it is only for the members.
Right, Dr. Mavaza, Chief Soshe, let's catch up tomorrow, folks. We really have to go. I think we won't finish, but much appreciated, Dr. Mavaza. And let's catch up tomorrow, folks. Dr. We are learned. Okay, right. Okay, let's catch up tomorrow, folks. Thank you, Dr. Mavaza. Cheers.
Resolution esemaita panapa ndinokoshesa resolution imwe chete. Zvimwe zvese izvi zvinowanikwa nguva nenguva. Resolution yekutsigira utu
The night was electric on the 6th of July, 2025. Vice President Chiwenga's chief campaigner, Blessed Geza, played out video footage denouncing Kudatagwire under the theme Pasi Nesvigananda, a defiant anthem. But behind the music was a trap. 3 days before, on the 3rd of July, inside ZANU-PF headquarters, Chiwenga had risen, demanding the ejection of Kudakwashe Tagwire from a Central Committee meeting. It was bold, it was loud. The blessed Geza session on the 6th of July 2025. Unbeknownst to him, the meeting was a decoy. Tagwire's name was never on the agenda. And the real power, it sat quietly, with the 10 provincial chairpersons loyal to Emerson Mnangagwa. Chiwenga had walked into a fake coup, Archolocho 2.0, and he sang or sloganeered himself to sleep, believing he has discouraged the party from co-opting Tagwire on the basis of a slogan. Was he strategic, and will he get something better than this furious talk and ejection of Tagwire by Secretary for Administration Obert Mpofu? A power in ZANU-PF lies with the 10 chairpersons, all of whom are loyal to ED. By extension, they have no choice but to be loyal to Kuda. By correspondent. Zimbabwe's Vice President, Constantino Chiwenga, is at the center of fresh allegations of attempting to politically undermine his superior President Emerson Mnangagwa in a botched internal ZANU-PF maneuver that has drawn comparisons to the infamous 2004 Cholocho coup plot. Speaking during a live discussion on ZimEye, former ZANU-PF Mashonaland West chairperson Temba Maliswa exposed what he described as a panic move by Chiwenga inside the ruling party's headquarters on the 3rd of July 2025, triggered by agitation over controversial businessman Kudakwashe Tagwire's possible promotion into the party's central committee. According to Maliswa, the entire episode was not just an expression of dissent, but a miscalculated attempt to shift power balances, using Tagwire as a pawn in what could be likened to the ill-fated Cholocho Declaration coup attempt, which saw ambitious ZANU-PF officials trying to sideline the then-President Robert Mugabe in 2004. Kuda was used as a pawn to shake Chiwenga up, suggested Maliswa. He was misled. Inside the 3rd of July drama, Maliswa claims that Chiwenga, caught in an agitation trap, openly called for Tagwire's ejection from ZANU-PF structures on Obert Mpofu's prompting during a high-stakes session. It was a move not supported by the party's constitutional procedures, particularly the Central Committee, which is responsible for such decisions. Kuda's issue was never tabled at the Central Committee. It was a setup, Maliswa explained. Chiwenga panicked, and instead of gaining ground, he only ended up making Kuda more popular. Despite accusations against Tagwire, which include the alleged embezzlement of public funds, the businessman has remained visibly aligned with Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. Kuda is loyal to the president, he added, and power in ZANU-PF lies with the 10 chairpersons, all of whom are loyal to ED. By extension, they have no choice but to be loyal to Kuda. The military miscalculation. Maliswa further alleged that Chiwenga misread the internal power dynamics, wrongly assuming that military loyalty could be leveraged to influence civilian party structures. According to him, Chiwenga's failure to navigate the party's internal machinery now puts him at a political disadvantage, with even former allies turning cold amid the fallout. A pattern of outsider promotions. Tagwire's possible elevation into the Central Committee follows a pattern that has seen technocrats and business allies of the ruling elite, including Professor Jonathan Moyo in the early 2000s and Finance Minister Mthuli Ancube more recently, being co-opted into ZANU-PF's highest decision-making bodies without long-standing party credentials. Critics within ZANU-PF argue this dilutes the liberation ethos of the party, while saying Chiwenga was not tricked into any agitation whatsoever. Others say it reflects the pragmatic fusion of business and politics necessary for modern governance. One critic, Gifford Gomwe, tells ZimEye, Chiwenga has not at all danced to the agitation of Mnangagwa. But what he has done is, Chiwenga has showed Mnangagwa that what you are doing is very wrong. The correct way is there are rules and regulations that we must follow as the party, ZANU-PF, when it comes to co-options or how we adopt someone into a central committee position. Okay, If I have to give Chiwenga marks, I would say Chiwenga is 10 out of 10. But to all this, Miliswa contends, saying, if the president has power to appoint 5 non-politician technocrats, why can the Central Committee fail to waver for Tagwire? Recently, ZANU-PF's controversial political commissar, Munyaradzi Machacha, has also told Zimaye that Tagwire has contributed immensely to the party. The bottom line. If true, these latest developments signal not just deep fractures within ZANU-PF, but also the end of the once unshakable political partnership between Chiwenga and Mnangagwa, forged during the 2017 military-assisted transition that toppled Robert Mugabe. Miliswa's claims, which connect with other statements by ZANU-PF political commissar Munyaradzi Machacha and Goodwill's Massimirembwa, could redefine the trajectory of Zimbabwe's power politics ahead of the party's next elected Congress, and may have long-lasting implications for both the military's role in governance and the influence of economic elites like Tagwire within the ruling establishment. VP Constantino Chiwenga was reached for comment.
Mugabe's mercenaries, Smith's mercenaries, who got the badge but never fought, who cut the hands of the voters, Response not the comrades we know, who stained the war vets by John, not the ones from the front row. Philip Chiongwa, rich and loud, never saw him in the battle crowd. Where's Muzenda? Where's the truth? Chopped out with the Gamma Tax you. Are they real comrades or players of golf on stage? Wearing fake badges just to earn that wage. We don't bow to the Philip type. We want the truth, not the propaganda. Are they real comrades or players of golf on stage? Wearing fake badges just to earn that wage. We don't bow to the Philip type. We want the truth, not the propaganda high. Comrade Emerson came from jail, studied law then joined the tail. Wasn't from Mangagao's fight, he replaced those erased from sight. Are they real comrades or mercs in disguise with war vet badges and political lies? Tell the youth the truth tonight. Not every badge means you fought the fight. Are they real comrades or players of golf on stage? Wearing fake badges just to earn that wage. We don't bow to the Philip type. We want the truth, not the propaganda high. Tag we raid. Tag we raid. Tag we raid.
Tasvitswa kumpango mo hekutambutswa na emansong moni emanyati.
This is semi-media broadcasting all round the world, on the spot, on the dot.
Teacher simu tama oko wangu kutenda muziki. Teacher simu tama Tasvitwa kumagumo Hekutambutswa na emansonk Moni emanyati Tasvitwa kumagumo Hekutambutswa na emansonk Moni emanyati Dicha simu tamba oko wangu kutenda muziki Dicha simu tamba oko wangu kutenda muziki Geza, 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 zimai Geza, 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 zimai
This is Semi Media, broadcasting all around the world, on the spot, on the dot. This is Semi Media.